Hey, 8th graders, welcome to the transformation piece. For this project, you have two options. Really, the options are endless, but you have two kind of main options to choose from. So what I'm going to do for this project is I'm going to walk you through both options as this one video. And then I'm going to do two separate videos, one for option one, and then another one for option two, just to make it a little bit easier. So today I'm going to go over the two options you have so you can start brainstorming some ideas and start working on your sketches. So we are studying an amazing artist named Robert D. Jesus for this project. You can honestly, study any artist for this, but he does some really cool things. So I wanted to show you about his work. So for your first option, you can do a human to a cartoon. And here's an example of Robert D. Jesus's work where he takes a real photograph of a human and sometimes an animal, and he turns it into a cartoon. Now this is his style of cartoon. For this project, you can choose any style of cartoon you want. For example, you could turn any real person you want into a Simpsons character, a Boondocks character, you name it, whatever it is, as long as it's appropriate. Robert De Jesus, his style is identified by these really sharp lines that he adds called mark making into his piece. He adds these cool marks kind of where you would shade, exaggerated features and things like that. So just kind of think about that style. You can also emulate his style. So you could do Robert De Jesus' style. All right, so this is option one, where you would take a human and turn them into a cartoon. Here's some more of his examples. This is a digital example. If you have the capabilities and your teacher's willing to allow you to, digital can be really fun. I will tell you, it's a lot more involved than you think. Here are some of Robert De Jesus' examples. You can see he signs his name here. But he takes a picture of someone and then turns it into a cartoon. And it's really cool because people send him pictures and he gets paid to do this full time now, where he just kind of started out randomly doing it and posting them to social media, and he kind of blew up. Like, I know a lot of you probably know who this guy is with his cats. So you can see he does a lot with people and animals, funny faces, so even if you're doing like a celebrity, try to pick like an interesting facial expression or something like that. It'll just make it a little bit more interesting when you're exaggerating things for your cartoon. And so on. So your teachers can show you more of these examples as you go. And here's another digital example. So that's option one. You take a human, turn them into a cartoon. Okay, let's scroll down and I will show you where option two is. I kind of separated them to make it a little bit easier for you. And there's videos that your teacher can show you, maybe one at the beginning of class, or you can watch them on your own if they give you this link. It can really help you learn how to draw cartoon characters. All right, so this is option two. You're going to take a cartoon character and turn them into a human. So it's the opposite, okay? So with this one, we're still going to study Robert De Jesus, but I'll show you some examples. It can be really interesting. For example, there's Simba and Nala, if I'm remembering their names correctly, and someone turned them into humans. Okay, so this is what they would imagine they might look like if they were a human. Notice the eyes, the same, right? Now, obviously, he has more human-like eyes, but they're similar. The mane, hair, right? Now, she doesn't have hair like a mane, like a lion, so they just thought, well, what would it look like? And even though it doesn't have to be perfect, when you submit your piece, you're going to include the picture of the cartoon character and what you drew, so we can really kind of compare and see if they look alike. Here's some other examples, what they would look like as people, kind of in a different way, so you can see their characteristics. Some others. Right? Cartoons to humans. And notice it's still a cartoon. We're not talking about creating a hyper-realistic portrait unless that's something that your teacher wants you to do or you want to do. Lady and the Tramp, you can kind of see that. Here's a Space Jam. And here's some random, like what Homer would look like as a person. So you can kind of see how these will work. Sonic if he was a person. Patrick if he was a person. So you can kind of see how people have done them in a million different ways. What I do not want you to do for this project is copy, okay? If you decide to do one of these characters, that's fine. You can do a character, but don't just copy these drawings. Someone's already done that. I want you to be creative and create your own cartoons for this project. That's the whole idea, is to be super creative, which you are, whether you believe so or not, and to do a really good job. So these are your two options. No matter which option you choose, today, which is day one, you're going to be working on doing your brainstorming and your two sketches. Okay, so you're going to work on deciding, first of all, which option are you going to do? Are you going to do a human to a cartoon, or are you going to do option 2 where you do a cartoon to a human? So I want you to first think about which option you'll do, and then you're going to write down what you will do. Your final answer, what you're going to do for the project. You must decide today and start working on your sketches, okay? So you're going to take a little bit of time to decide, discuss it with your group, and then you're going to work on your two sketches. So one sketch today is going to be of the person that you choose, the real person, or the cartoon character. And then the other one's going to be the opposite of what you're going to do. So for option 2, you're going to do your two sketches of the cartoon character and then just trying it out, okay? If you're doing option 1, and I scroll all the way back up here, okay, your two sketches are going to be one of the real person you chose to draw, just roughly, because you're not drawing it realistically, just roughly sketch it out. The second sketch is going to be of a cartoon character in the style you chose. So for example, if I chose Boondocks, maybe I draw Huey as my second sketch today. Okay, so to summarize, you have two options today. You can either take a human and turn them into a cartoon, or you can do the reverse where you take a cartoon character and turn them into a human. Remember, you are not copying something someone has already done. You could do, like if you wanted to do this girl, that's fine. But then your cartoon isn't going to look like this, it's going to look different. Okay, because it's your piece, not someone else's. All right? Brainstorm and get those two sketches done today. All right, good luck.